All right, here we go. All right, so tell me about yourself and how long have you been teaching, and when in your teaching career did you find out about the writing project, and how did that in some way impact on your teaching?
Okay, so my name is Michelle Copeman, and this is my 22nd year teaching. I had to think about it. I taught first or second grade, mostly first, for 17 years, and then I became a reading specialist for the last 5 years. And last year I was feeling like I wanted to do some sort of professional development, but I looked at the courses offered at Maryland and the courses offered through professional development in my county, and I'd already either taken or taught all of them. And then I heard about the writing project, and it sounded like something that I could do that was new and different, and I was ready to be revitalized, and it did that. It was even better than I expected.
What did you expect, and how was it better? What did it give you?
Well, because I didn't really need the credits for any reason, I figured I would go, and if I didn't like it, I would stop going. But it was amazing to be with other teachers who were interested in literacy and in learning new things and in talking about their teaching practices. We never have time for that during the school day, and we had weeks to share all of those things that we do that work and don't work, and our frustrations and our joys, and learn different practices. And it was just gave me so much to think about, which was nice after 22 years of kind of not doing the same thing every year, but I was ready for something fresh and new.
Mm. And how was it like when you went back to school?
Well, it was a little hard because no one at my school had experienced those same things. So I'm back at school with the same old curriculum and the same constraints on time and testing and curriculum. But I was different because I was revitalized and fresh and ready to try whatever was going to work with kids in terms of reading and writing, and to have things that were authentic, because that's what I had experienced and found it invigorating and interesting and fascinating, and I wanted children to have that same learning experience.
What did you do with them that was different?
Well, I worked on a project with the second grade group. I plugged in with a classroom teacher who was a very experienced teacher, and one thing we did was the curriculum in second grade is about learning text features in nonfiction, and it's interesting, but it never gets to the part where they have to apply those text features in a written form, at least not in a real authentic way. And so I thought, after they'd done the regular things in the curriculum, let's just see how far they can go with this. And we noticed that a lot of the kids liked the Ranger Rick magazine, and so we used that as our mentor text. And we let them research anything that they were interested in. So, like, one child did Venus flytraps, and one child was into soccer, and many of them chose different animals they were interested in. And we went through a whole process of researching and collecting notes and paraphrasing and writing paragraphs, and looking at the Ranger Rick in particular, like the layout features, not just the text features, but how they lay things out like across a page and have close-ups, and so it went more in detail about text features, and it was real because it was what kids were actually reading. And then they made a layout on construction paper, and we published it in PowerPoint and had a party, and they were very pleased with their work. And because they had done much of the project independently while the teacher was working with reading groups, except for a few mini lessons and a little bit of guidance along the way, we could really see who understood text features because they could apply it, and who was still a little fuzzy on the concept. So it was a very interesting assessment, and the kids were absolutely thrilled about. They wanted more time to write, more time to read and find out, because it was a topic that they were interested in, and they had a purpose, an authentic purpose.
So reflecting back now on your summer, here you are now putting together a workshop. How do you feel what the writing project offered you helped you to create this project for your kids? Because I hear a lot of things that I could point to, but I'm wondering what your takeaway is.
Well, I think in the writing project, you don't go in with a set, I'm going to learn this and this and this. You go in open to learning whatever learning happens, and ready to discuss and try new things, and read the latest articles and see where it leads, which is very different than most courses you take that start out with a set of objectives. The writing project started out with, yes, we're all going to have a TIW, we're going to teach each other some things, we're all, but it didn't have the same sort of constraints. It was more good teachers coming together and sharing great ideas, and then you don't know what's going to happen, because you give an idea, and then that gives me another idea, and that gives you another idea, and someone else another idea, and pretty soon we've built a knowledge that none of us had before. And I think going into the school year with that sense of how collaboration and how having authentic tasks for kids can work, I didn't know what I was going to do with all of that information this summer. And a lot of the information I got was about things people were doing in high school, and I teach primary. And I was thinking, how could I do this? How could I do this Shakespeare thing with kids? Because I found it really interesting. And then I realized it's not really about doing the Shakespeare thing with kids. It's about being with kids, finding what they're interested in, teaching them to love learning as much as I love learning, and just being open to collaborating with other teachers in the building, and seeing what happens when you put great teachers together and get lots of ideas.
It's great. And how has being here among these writing project people helped to shape your workshop?
Well, I've realized that I'm abandoning the workshop I thought I was going to do. And I have a new idea. I think the one I was going to do with the magazine project, I'm going to come back to next year, because now I have some more ideas. But this group of kids has already done it, and we've published, and I don't want to go back to it this year. I'm sort of done with that, and I'm going to recycle it next year, and I have some new ideas for new ways to publish, possibly using a podcast or a newscast. If we can get our newscast up and running at my school, I think that would be an exciting way to have a publishing party at the end, and get more writing and more reading in there. And so for now, I'm setting that one aside to come back to, and being here this weekend, I have a new idea for some work I want to do with my kindergartners around making a digital alphabet book. So I'm very excited about trying that, and I hope to create a digital movie with my kindergarten group where they'll each get a DVD to take home of the alphabet, and hopefully practice over the summer. And hold on to those skills they've learned with me during the year. So I'm off on a new exciting
I want to see that. I want to see that. That's great. Anything you feel that you want to add that I didn't ask you, or?
Just that sense of making time to learn new things and rejuvenate. We get so busy. Sometimes my days at school are so full. I make a list of things to do in the morning, and I get through half, but by the end of the day I've added twice as many things to the bottom of the list, and it becomes overwhelming. So remembering that the joy in teaching and to just prioritize that and being with the kids and what's going to work for leading them into literacy, into the world that they're entering, which is very different than the world that I grew up in. And I'm on that path with them because I don't know how to do a lot of the digital things, but I do know how to read and write, and I can help them explore and become learners in the new world together. And it's just very exciting.
So you're going to promise to send me some materials that you're doing on this ABC project?
Yes.
Maybe can you take photographs of the kids?
Yeah.
And maybe some video? Yeah. So if you do that and send it to me, I'll embed it in this video. Yeah. So it'll be cool because you could have the Ranger Rick stuff, you know, that you could even make. Do you have that online, any of that, or on your computer?
I have it on a PowerPoint because I'm presenting this project at the International Reading Association conference.
So if you maybe make some screenshots and just send them to me, I could sort of put that in, and then the new project too.
It's fun.
That's great, man. I love it.
Good.
All right, you were easy. Easy deasy.